Some Kind of Wonderful is about a shy, artistic boy who has a crush on a popular girl called Amanda Jones. However, his best friend, Watts, has a crush on him. Keith must navigate about wanting to date someone popular when his best friend wants to be with him. The film has a classic trope of the main character choosing his best friend over a popular girl. John Hughes portrays the struggles of lower socioeconomic status in women during the 80s. It is still a very well done movie in that it talks about the differences in socioeconomic class as well as gender roles. There are two major socioeconomic classes portrayed in the film: the rich upper-class students, otherwise known as the popular students, and the middle-class students. Some might argue that there are really three classes in the movie, the additional class being the lower class, which I will discuss later. The rich elite students are defined by their wealth and popularity, as seen in their cars, trips, and houses, but also their disconnection between them and those that are socially lower in status. Take the character Hardy Jens, the top dog, and the rich antagonist of the film. He is defined by trying to cheat on his girlfriend virtually in front of her. He lies to her and plots to beat up Keith with his cronies. He lacks any sense of right and wrong. He is defined by having no moral compass, and by abusing his wealth and power. His entitlement is shown several times when he dismisses others and does not even wait in line. Popular kids even have problems with where middle-class kids live. They are told they live on the wrong side of the tracks. The middle-class students seem to be portrayed as more sociable and connected to people. Keith, even though he is portrayed as a shy dude, is actually quite sociable. Keith, every step of the way, tries to connect with people and actually become friends with people that he would normally not become friends with. He's also much more thoughtful than those who are supposedly above him. Both classes are portrayed in the character Amanda. We see her act mean when she is with her rich friends, and we see her being a good person when she is back in her middle-class situation. She is living in the class struggle. There are two characters who could be seen portraying lower-class society, the bully and Watts. We are given evidence that they do not have a middle-class home life, not to mention the lower-class costumes they are both in. But they both end up as people with hearts of gold. I would argue, however, that Hughes is not trying to make a distinction between those two and the working class. Both groups are just trying to do what is right. Both sets have a moral compass, sacrifice for others, and are there for each other. The film both strengthens the role of women, but also uses certain stereotypes about women throughout the film. Watts is consistently fighting for herself and others. She consistently shows her strength in protecting Keith and being such a good friend to him. The fact that there is a damsel in distress stereotype I know is not good, but the fact that Amanda is willing to let Keith go and not go back to Hardy is a sign of strength. There's a lot of reverse gender roles in most John Hughes films, but especially in this film. The film still uses stereotypes, however. Watts is consistently being called a lesbian due to her interests and how she acts. I believe the stereotype was used in order to draw the attention to how bad the stereotype actually is. There's also another part of the film where Hardy Jens calls Amanda his property.
I recommend you keep your eyes and your mind off my property.
Obviously, even during the 80s, the stereotype is not a good stereotype. There are also many occasions of Amanda using her popularity and her looks to cause men to do her bidding so she can get out of things. Overall, I believe that the white suburban kids and really families enjoyed this film just because of its sweet tropes, but it's also talking about both strong and terrible stereotypes and trying to connecting it in a way so that they actually understand it and enjoy watching that medium. In the end, Some Kind of Wonderful demonstrates the gender roles and socioeconomic classes and interactions throughout the 1980s. John Hughes is truly a writer of his time.